Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Ji.
Sir, should I start? Honorable resource person for today's session, Professor R.K.Yadav, former Director, Students Welfare, CCS, Haryana Agricultural University, Hisar. Respected Principal, Dr. Vikramjit Singh, faculty and research scholars from other colleges and universities who have joined us today, and dear most students. I, Dr. Shami Nagpal, welcome you all on behalf of Internal Quality Assurance Cell, Dayanand College Hisar, to the third day of our 3 days online workshop on human values and professional ethics from March 16 to March 18. We have with us today Dr. R.K.Yadav, an eminent scientist, an able administrator, and an experienced teacher with an experience of more than 35 years. And he will speak on ethics in teaching. We welcome you, sir. Day one of our workshop started with the keynote address of Professor Manjula Chaudhary, who spoke on human values in Industrial Age 4.0. She enlightened us about how technology influences social behavior, which further affects our values, and how artificial intelligence should be ethical. On day two, we had with us Dr. Aisha M. Sharif, who interacted with us on clarifying organizational values and ethics for high impact performance. Ma'am spoke about the 4 values that guide all the workplaces and how productivity can thrive if congenial environment is provided to the employees. She also elaborated on how good ethics and good business go hand in hand by taking examples of big business houses like Tata, TVS, and Nestle. Before our honorable speaker takes over, my request to you all to put off your videos and mute your audios. I now invite Dr. Srivastava, coordinator of IQAC and NAC of Dayanand College Hisar, to welcome our guest, Dr. Vivek Srivastava.
Thank you, Dr. Shami Nagpal. Good afternoon to all connected with this workshop. I, Dr. Vivek Srivastava, once again welcome you all on the last and the final day of this 3 days national workshop on human values and professional ethics, being organized by Internal Quality Assurance Cell, Dayanand College, Hisar, from March 16 to March 18, 2021. Today is the final day of this workshop, and I welcome the resource person of the day, Professor R.K.Yadav, former Director, Students Welfare, Chaudhary Charan Singh, Haryana Agriculture University, Hisar. Dr. Yadav will speak on the topic ethics in teaching. I also welcome the delegates and participants of this national webinar from different states. Total 179 delegates have registered themselves for this workshop. Dear participants, yesterday also we discussed that the very objective of IQAC is to develop a mechanism to promote conscious, consistent, and catalytic action plans to improve the academic and administrative performance of the institution. Keeping this objective in mind, Internal Quality Assurance Cell of Dayanand College Hisar is organizing this 3 days national workshop on human values and professional ethics. The workshop started on March 16 and today is the final day of the workshop on March 18, 2021. Dear participants, I believe the society is as good as its institutions, and the institutions are made by teachers. The quality of education is just as good as quality of teachers. So it is very important that teaching profession requires to ensure its dignity and integrity. Any field of study, whether college teaching, scientists, scholars, or professionals, define integrity in teacher ethics as fundamental to their work. Respect and support also depends on quality of teaching and teachers. So it is necessary that some code of ethics must be adopted by teaching community. So it is our great pleasure that we have with us a very learned and experienced resource person who is going to deliver his deliberation on the topic. We have with us Professor Dr. Ram Kumar Yadav, former Director, Students Welfare, CCS HU Hisar. Dr. R.K. Yadav has a throughout first-class academic career with a long teaching and research experience of 35 years as assistant scientist, senior scientist. Dr. Yadav also served as principal scientist and chief scientist from November 2015 to 2016. Dr. Yadav also served as Director, Students Welfare of CCSHU Hisar for 4 years. Dr. Yadav has more than 100 research publications, more than 35 articles, 3 monographs, 80 radio and TV talks, and has supervised more than 35 PhD and MSc scholars. He has been editor-in-chief of national journals and life members of many professional societies. During his tenure as scientist, he visited countries like USA, Netherlands, Ecuador, and Ghana for his research activities. As scientist, Dr. R.K. Yadav has key role in releasing important varieties of pea and chickpea. So such a great scientist and academician is among us today to deliver his talk on ethics in teaching. I welcome Professor Dr. Ram Kumar Yadav to start his deliberation. Dr. Yadav, please.
मेरी आवाज आई?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. आ रही है सर, आप ऑडिबल हैं, प्लीज स्टार्ट.
Thank you.
Thank you,
At
sir.
the outset, I thank Professor Vikramjit Singh, principal of prestigious Dayanand College, Hisar, Dr. Sami Nagpal, who is the convener of webinar, Dr. Vivek, who was speaking very good of me and is coordinator of this webinar, Dr. Sunita Lega, organizing secretary, and all the members of the workshop committee for number one, inviting me to interact and deliver this small talk in front of the August teachers who are from different colleges, different universities, not only from Haryana, but from almost entire country. So I'm thankful to everyone here. I hope I'll be able to justify the topic, which is ethics in teaching oblique education. Vivek, your brochure says, in the and quoted, try not to become a man of success, but rather to become a man of values. And I think this is gist of my lecture also, and this is gist of your webinar also. So I'll take support from PowerPoint. I have been teaching and doing research in agriculture. I have been visiting different colleges and universities, right from Dayanand College in Hisar, which is a very famous college, have given very good administrators, very good politicians, and very good teachers around, including few vice chancellors also. So this is a prestigious institute. I have been coming to your institute, Vivek, for many times. I have delivered my lectures. I have started Speak Mackay also in your college. I don't know what is the situation now as I am away from HR. So I start from the wisdom which this country has got from our gurus, our saints, our sages, and this wisdom has concluded into a law named as ethico-moral law of causation. And this law has three different parts. First, it says that a cause in the present must produce an effect in the future. There is always an effect of a cause. Today, what you are doing, it will have an effect on your personality tomorrow, or on your working tomorrow, or on your luck tomorrow, whatever you call it. An effect at present must have a cause in the past. There has been a cause. You have studied well. You are teaching in a very good institute. Somebody works very hard, becomes a good businessman, and somebody becomes a very good bureaucrat. So that says that each cause produces its own effect. There is no mutual cancellation. It cannot be that you do 10 good works and then 10 bad works, and each will cancel and you will have no effect. This is not like that. The good deeds you have done will have positive effect, and the bad deeds will have a negative effect. So that will be a mixed effect. Friends, the only person who is mostly known in the world, that means if one person who is known in the world most is Mahatma Gandhi, our Bapu, and he has said that you must be the change you wish to see in the world. So your inner conscience should tell you what you should do and what you should not do it. The individual's conscience, as I told you, is very important in every aspect of life. Wherever you take any decision, your conscience says something, your duty says something, and your society says something. This is also influenced by many factors. Some of them I have given you in this slide. So one is mentors. Your mentors influence your conscience. Regions of the country influence your conscience, because cultural part is very important in the society. Then your profession, if you are a teacher, your conscience is supposed to be very clear. Then employer, who is your employer, what profession you have opted, and who is your employer. Then society in which you are living, that also influences your conscience. Your religious beliefs, they influence. The law influences your conscience. Friends influence your conscience. Family and teachers influence your conscience, and fellow workers also influence your conscience. And in these days, politicians also influence your conscience. So your conscience, though it is very clear, but still it is influenced by so many factors. Friends, because you are to deal with students, the young minds, and for improvement of their personality, you are educating them through your teachings. I have given you few characters, few values and disvalues which are to be looked upon. The values which are to be improved include contentment, humility, gratitude, sincerity, reverence, forbearance, faith, honesty, compassion, and tolerance. These are to be inculcated amongst your students. Although you are teaching physics, you are teaching botany, you are teaching commerce, you are teaching any other engineering, medical, or whatever it is, but these characteristics of a personality are very important to be improved upon. On the other hand, the other disvalues, they are to be minimized from the personality. And and you have all the powers to at least influence your students through your teachings to reduce these disvalues, including greed, envy, aggressiveness, vindictiveness, duplicity, anger, cruelty, fear, hatred, fault finding. If you reduce from the personality these disvalues and increase the values of the personality, then you are a better teacher, and you can do good, you can do justice to the profession. Friends, education has been defined by so many people, but I'll take it in our own context, in our own Indian construct. And because we have been Vishwa Gurus, and again we are trying to become one. So we have to go to our holy books. Education, according to Bhagavad Gita, which is Vidya, it is the performance of performing one's own duties for attainment of peace, joy, satisfaction, and salvation. Four things: peace, joy, satisfaction, and salvation, being rid of the three wraths. जो तीन चीजें हमारे बाप दादा कहते हैं, काम, क्रोध और भय, इनसे मुक्ति दिलाती है with the steady mind and the wisdom. So this is Vidya, education. Nowadays, in most educational institutions, the actions which are performed for the attainment of various types of comforts, luxury, prosperity or joy have been called, this has been called avidya in Bhagavad Gita. So almost every professional teacher, be it medico or be it an engineer, be it an MBA or whatever, most of them, they are taught to be successful, to gain, to earn as much as possible, and to attain various type of comforts, luxury, prosperity, and joy. We have two great thinkers in India. One is Swami Vivekananda, and another Sri Ravindranath Tagore, Guruji. At the end, an aim of all education, all training should be to make good human beings, what is said by Swami Vivekananda. And Ravindranath Tagore takes his point into individuals. I do not put my faith in any institution, but in the individuals all over the world who think clearly, feel nobly, and act rightly, thus becoming channels of moral truth. The challenge facing the world today is mental and moral decay, breakdown of norms and discipline, and a pathological concentration of power and division of societies. Long back, even about 80 years or 70 years back, when Ravindranath ji was there, such situation has started arising. Now, theoretically, I say that there are different ethical teachings characteristics, and there are 6 of them given in books, textbooks. Everybody knows. Many of you might have studied in text also. Appreciation for moral deliberations, empathy, knowledge, reasoning, courage, and interpersonal skills. I'll not go in the details of these things. I'll better go to practical aspects, what we are not doing at what we are doing. Now, we often believe in the quotes of holy books like Bhagavad Gita, Quran, Bible, and Guru Granth Sahib, and so many other books also. While teaching, you quote also. But we failed miserably when it comes to follow or implement these quotes in our real life, our own real lives. When if I say something, teach something to my group of students, and if I don't follow it myself, so that teaching is not very effective. At various levels of the Indian education system, the ethical considerations have lost its value and place. Moreover, these are not taught, neither they are taught through textbooks, nor advocated through any other media of learning or teachings. So these things must, they are a must in teaching, and which are absent. And this has resulted into so many things. It is very difficult to find good people with ethical flavor. Easy to find large number of unethical managers. आप कहीं भी चले जाइए, किसी भी ऑफिस में चले जाइए, you will find the unethical behavior of that manager. Bureaucrats, चाहे आप किसी डिप्टी कमिश्नर के पास जाइए, मजिस्ट्रेट के पास जाइए, किसी के पास जाइए, you will find a part of him acting unethically. Education, even we teachers do unethical jobs. Some of us more, and some of us very less. There are few people who are 100% good, very few. You can count on fingers. Then even corporate heads, whether it is any company or in bank or in any industrial organization, you will not find ethical heads. Then politicians, God save us from them, and elected representatives, almost all are bent upon spoiling the society, spoiling the nation. Very few are, of course, serious. Because of that only, we are heading to development in the country. Coming to higher education, in which I have worked throughout my life, and you people are also involved. Friends, just after our independence, there were only 30 universities in 1950-51, which then grows to 256 in 2001 and to 564, and now it is more than 1,000, and there are even fake universities, those who are selling the certificates, degrees to those innocent people. Then there have been a tremendous increase in colleges. Number of colleges were only 695, less than 700 in 1950-51, which is now 52,600. That means 100-fold increase in the number of colleges. Teachers, few thousand to 16 lakh teachers. They are there in our universities, in our colleges, in our institutions. And we have increased tremendously the enrollment of students from 3-4 lakh to say 35 lakh people, students. We have 54 central universities, 400 more than 400 state universities, 125 deemed universities, private universities, and institutes of national importance, including IIMs, AIMs, IIT, triple IITs, and like that, totaling more than 1,000. Some of them, they are very good, but still, friends, it's a sorry state of affairs that we cannot boast of any Indian university to be one of the top 100 universities in the world. What to talk of first, second, or 10 in the world. We have only 2 institutes which are ranking less than 100, 200. That is Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay, and IIT, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, having 173 position. So this is the situation in a country which used to be guru of the world, and now the situation is different. We are again trying, all of us, including you and me, to improve this situation, but we have to work very hard. Academic environment, now these are the determinants of the quality of education, of higher education at least, that this slide will give you an impetus that we have a good infrastructure now. That means our academic environment is measured in terms of number of library books. You also have a big library. Every time you write a report, you said that our library has so many books, audiovisual aids, computer facilities, etc. in the library. Then similarly, intellectual capital, this is measured in terms of number of faculty. We have say 100 professors or 100 teachers total in the Dayanand College, and so many associate professors, so many assistant professors. And then books published, each of us have at least one book. Four of our teachers, they have got these awards like this. Seminars, conference attended, and etc. Then physical infrastructure measured in terms of number of classrooms, laboratories, campus, and hostel facilities. Say in our agriculture university, there are 17 hostels, and your Dayanand College used to have four hostels. I think like this. Industry interface measured in terms of management development programs, uh, company programs, consultancy projects, and VIPs visiting the institute like that. Placement पे बताते हैं कि हमारे इतने स्टूडेंट्स कंपनीज लेगी, इतनी सैलरी ऑफर उन्होंने की. स्टेक होल्डर सेटिस्फैक्शन एंड परसेंटेज measured in terms of faculty satisfaction, student satisfaction, recruiters perception and satisfaction, and also parents satisfaction. Parents भी खुश हैं कि हमारा बेटा कॉलेज में जाता है, सुबह जाता है और शाम को आता है, और उसके नंबर भी अच्छे 60% से ऊपर आए. इनोवेशन आइडियाज ये भी मेजर करते हैं. कोर्सेज मॉडिफाई कितने किए, अपडेटेड कितने किए, और इनोवेटिव कोर्सेज इंट्रोड्यूस एक्सेट्रा कितने हुए. लेकिन जो जो खास बात है वो ये है कि there are no laid down yardsticks for the measurements of the ethical parameters for the institution and the product the graduates we produce. हमारे जो ग्रेजुएट्स हैं उनका उनके अंदर वैल्यूज कितनी इनकलकेट की है, और उनके एथिकल पैरामीटर्स क्या है, और चाहे वो अपने इंस्टीट्यूशन हो उसमें क्या एथिकल पैरामीटर्स हैं. बहुत सारी करती भी है, लेकिन ज्यादातर में ऐसा नहीं है. Many privately owned, even state-owned higher education institutes are playing with the lives of thousands of young people of our country. And unlucky we are that you can buy degrees from so many institutes. आपको जाने की जरूरत नहीं है, आपको फीस देनी है, और आपकी बैक डेट से अटेंडेंस लग जाती है, और आप डिग्री भी मिल जाती है. तो ऐसा ऐसा हमारे देश में ही पॉसिबल है. तो जो दूसरी जो आगे बातें आती हैं वो है, there is no correlation in salary shown and salary dispersed to the staff. What you are teaching to our students. अगर सैलरी एक प्राइवेट कॉलेज दिखाता है कि एक टीचर को 25,000 वी आर पेइंग, और पे करते हैं 10,000, एंड दिस इज नोन टू द टीचर and this is known to the students also. If the student knows that this teacher is teaching for a salary which he is not given, हो गया ना, ethics का तो सारा ही कबाड़ा हो गया. Corrupt prestige used during exams, and sometimes even the faculty parents are also involved. The case of Anti-Coping Act in UP. You must be remembering when Mulayam Singh Yadav became chief minister, what happened? कि उन्होंने वो जो एंटी कोपिंग जो एक्ट था उसको ही खत्म कर दिया था. सिमिलरली while selecting the faculty, आप चाहे आप कल को आप प्रिंसिपल भी बनेंगे, आप में से you can become vice chancellor also, at least I hope 1 or 2 will become. तो आप सिलेक्शन बेस्ट का करना चाह के भी नहीं कर पाएंगे. नॉर्मली ऐसा होता है, मैं ये कह सकता हूँ 90% केसेस में दिस हैपन्स. सो इंक्रीज, आप जब आपको जिसका सिलेक्शन नहीं हुआ, जिसका सिलेक्शन सिफारिश से या किसी और रीजन से हुआ है, तो who will expect ethical standards in your personality? increasing fee structure on one or the other pretext, they in the name of development charge they earn money. That means they are selling the education. There is no correlation between higher education, higher increment in salary and performance. खासकर government institution है. The teacher who does well all the time, he is say better than almost all the faculty in the department, but he or she will not be promoted when time comes. And the other, sometimes even the worst, will be selected for a promotion. This happens only in our country. Not concerned with professional ethics such as punctuality, attendance of faculty and students, results achieved, overall development of students' personality, quality research work, projects undertaken. The main concern of these institutes is to make profit by dubious means. Kitne sare institutes you always, when you read the pages of newspapers, you find so many such news which you even don't want to read about the situation in the institute, some of them. Donations, they are accepted while giving admissions, but there is no account of these donations. ऊपर के ऊपर अपना इंतजाम कर लेते हैं. So in that situation in the country and in the areas around you, in the institutions around you, your role as a teacher is first help create an atmosphere of love, trust, and security in the college. Yours is one of the largest colleges of, I think, entire Haryana. There are very few colleges which are equivalent to Dayanand College, Hisar. Understand the students and his or her character development and adopt your methods accordingly. You are to understand the character and development of your students individually. It is difficult because your class has 75 students in one class, 100 students in class, sometimes even much more than what I say. So sometimes it is very difficult, but you try as much as you can. Relate value education to concrete situations. So that means what are the values of life, and in certain situations, what a person should do, you should correlate and concentrate. Organize value education indirectly through a variety of co-curricular activities. I emphasize on this point because you can teach so many ethical values, moral values to your students while organizing, whether it is a sports activity or co-curricular activities. This includes debates, declamations, dances, the theater items, mono acting, so many things. And through organizing and taking good decisions, becoming fairer in the judgment, and so many things, you teach indirectly the value education. And remember, dear friends, teacher influences the student with her or with his total personality. If you teach something else in class and what you yourself are in the minds of students, your education, your way of education, your method of teaching is not good. Example is better than perception. The teacher must be honest in her dealings with students. Be fair to them always. Aapko, not only you should be fair, you should look to be fair also in all your dealings. Attendance बदमाशों की पूरी मत करो. ईमानदार कोई स्टूडेंट अच्छा मेहनती है और उसके ठीक रीजंस हैं तो एक आध पढ़ाने में कोई हर्ज नहीं होता है, लेकिन होता नॉर्मली डिफरेंट है. mere emulation is not education. कि आपने किताब में वो पढ़ा था, किताबी ज्ञान ले लिया, और they should not do the things in blind faith, customs, traditions, but they should do anything after rational deliberations and thoughts. We as teachers should become role models for our students. At least I remember my teachers, my best teachers, whether I was a primary student or middle school students or senior secondary school or during this university education, I still remember my teachers, whom I even today if remember them in my thoughts always. And even during my studies, and you also might have, that if I become a teacher, I should become a teacher like him. So such role model are there. And ethical education will not only relieve the society of bad bugs, but our youth also will become beneficial in total development of their personality. This includes moral development. So morally, you have a society living, you are living in a society, and society has its own rules and traditions and ethical values. So their development, cultural development, culture is nothing but way of life. So how, which way of life, which living standard is better for them. This includes, you'd say, yoga as a culture, music, which good music they should listen, sports, discussions, and everything. Development of healthy and balanced personality. Na dukh mein zyada dukhi, na sukh mein zyada sukhi, na over aggressiveness, nothing like that. So a healthy and a balanced personality uh, need to be developed amongst the young people. Creation of good citizenship. This is very important, that your citizens should be law-abiding citizens, and they should be well behaved, and they should do everything in the interest of the country. Resolving conflicts. Your teachings make them uh, compromising in nature, that there should not be much conflict. If there is any conflict, they should resolve it as soon as possible. Cooperative living. These students, these young people, they learn while living in hostels, or while in classrooms, in canteens, in library. And these are the places where teachers, they have a role to guide them, to tell them the right things. Then maintaining peace and harmony. So this is also very important aspect, that peace is very important for the society, for the nation, for the country. And adjustments with environment and its modification. परेशान ना हो कि environment तो change होता है, climate change होता है, और environment in relation to your institution भी change होता है, principal change हो जाता है, DP change होता है, so many teachers they change. So changed environment में they should be able to adjust when they go out of your college. So develop them like that. National integration and national development. So they should have interest in these things. Friends, now I will very soon conclude my talk, but I have my personal concern about few things which are very important for the life of the students and education system as a whole, for the institution as a whole, for the nation as a whole. Coping examination must end. Friends, we as teachers teach. We as teachers are the invigilators. We as teachers evaluate their copies, and we teachers compile and make results. So everything is done by us. So whatever goes out as a bad student, bad graduate, or bad person, it is mostly because of us. Copying must be taken as an act of greed, greed of marks, greed of grades, greed of medals, which is one of the 7 deadly sins, thus making copying a sin. And I tell you that this is not this is not India alone where copying is a menace. Almost in the entire world, copying is there. There are different ways. The students are very innovative. Few of them I am giving how the copying happens. See, you are experienced. You see these things almost in every examination. So this is technology, use of technology, mobiles, rubber. See, this is a situation of Bihar. Say about 20 years back, this was a cutting from newspaper. Okay, the examination is going on in this building, and this is how the young people, they are taking risk for others. They are sending slips to their friends or their relatives, whatever they are. Even sometimes parents are also involved. That if my son or if my daughter gets higher marks because of copyings, she will get good chances of getting admission or getting job. Friend, it is sometimes your own experiences are very horrible. Uh, though this is a very confidential, but I decided today in the morning that I must tell you about my case. I was a young associate professor. It is I think 1990 or so. There is a examination for PhD students known as comprehensive examination. You might have appeared for such examinations in our university. This is the method that there are comprehensive examinations, 2 written and then viva voce after the coursework completes. So there were 4 students who were appearing for that comprehensive test. 3 of them were in service. I underline it. They were in service means they were themselves teachers. They were doing PhD in service. They got the paper leak through the typist who typed the question paper in the office of the examination or paper setter. And he was a very senior teacher, professor. Answer sheets, they were stolen from somebody else's office. And they wrote these 5 questions on 5 answer sheets. Unluckily, those 5 answer sheets were additional sheets. जो additional देते हैं, एक main होती है, एक additional होती है, उस पे 5 पे ले आए. And out of those 4, only one student didn't do any mischief or copying. These 3 students, they started attaching the already written answer sheets to the main sheet, but they couldn't write anything on the main answer sheet. I tried to impress upon them not to do these things, but they didn't agree. They were, some of them, even seniors to me in the university. I made the case, they were expelled. I didn't budge, so they came to, there were so many threats that before any action is taken, my witness was to be there, but I didn't change my witness. They were expelled. And they went to the chief minister. He didn't agree. Chaudhry Devilal was there. And then High Court, one of them went to the High Court. और हाई कोर्ट ने भी स्ट्रिक्चर्स उनके लिए पास किए और उसके बाद एग्जाम रिफॉर्म्स इस यूनिवर्सिटी में आए बिकॉज ऑफ, यूँ कहिए कि अगर मैं हिम्मत नहीं दिखाता तो वो ना तो एग्जाम रिफॉर्म्स आते और ना वो एक्सपेल होते. दूसरी बहुत जबरदस्त जो मैंने है, दैट इज रैगिंग. इट्स ए क्राइम stop it in any form. There have been chances or incidents of death of the students. They committed suicide, jumped from the buildings, left the institutes, पागल हो गए और पता नहीं क्या क्या उन लोगों के साथ हुआ. And no political outfit could do anything. Supreme Court had to intervene and then stringent laws framed. इतने stringent बना दिए कि अगर किसी की रैगिंग होगी, रिपोर्ट होगी और वाइस चांसलर तक को आप उनको जेल में जा सकते हैं, 3 महीने तक उनकी बेल भी नहीं हो सकती. So I'll again impress upon my friends, all of you, to stop this if there is any chance, if there is any such incident, immediately stop it. It's your profession. You teach your subject physics, you teach your subject electrical engineering, you teach your sociology or whatever it is. But general laws, teaching general laws is very, very important in addition to your own subject. It is not necessary. I don't say that it is rule that you should teach laws, but some of the laws you should keep telling them through one or the other activity. General hygiene, it is very important, and this becomes habit. And if the student during the college, if he improves his methods of general hygiene throughout life, he will remember. Although these are taught by parents, but certainly इनको पक्का तो आप ही करेंगे. Alcoholism, mostly in hostels, this is a menace. जब शाम होते ही कितने सारे स्टूडेंट्स जो हम इसमें इंडल्ज होते हैं और खासतौर हॉस्टल्स में. कॉलेजेस में तो बहुत कम इंसिडेंट्स ऐसे देखे जाते हैं, बट देन इन हॉस्टल्स there are large number of such cases. Hostel living जो है ना, it teaches most cooperation. Keep discipline there. You must be acting sometimes as warden or sometimes as chief warden or whatever it is. So it should not be taken as a job, another job. Hostel warden has a bigger responsibility than even your principal. Traffic rules. These days, you go to market, you go to any road, you will find rule breaking of traffic rules. Teach them during your class. So another last 2-3 minutes, you take a topic of traffic and then discuss and tell them. Respect of women. जितना ज्यादा freedom आती जा रही है, उतना ही ज्यादा ये डिसरेस्पेक्ट के केसेस होते जा रहे हैं. जितनी ज्यादा एजुकेशन होती जा रही है, उतने ही ज्यादा ये रेप के केसेस और ये होते जा रहे हैं. We are not acting in a civil way, in a better way as citizens. तो उनको अच्छा सिटीजन्स बनाइए, रेस्पेक्ट करना सिखाइए वुमेन को, एल्डर्स को और पेरेंट्स को. एंड फाइनली रेस्पेक्ट द लॉ ऑफ द लैंड. हमारे यहाँ क्योंकि देयर वाज ए फाइट फॉर आवर इंडिपेंडेंस, और उस टाइम पे वो लॉ ऑफ द लैंड नहीं थे, वो लॉ ऑफ ब्रिटिशर्स थे, और we became habitual of disrespecting the laws. तो slowly अब तो 75 5th year 4th year चल रहा है, तो अभी तो हमें we should go for the respect of the law of land. These are very important things, friends. As I told you that you keep on teaching your subject, very good. Your students improve in physics, chemistry, economics, or sociology, or civics, or whatever, but they should become very good citizens, finer human beings, better human beings. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Excuse me.
हाँ जी मैडम.
Sir, sorry for this small technical glitch. And thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much for your talk. It has been very wonderful interacting with you. Sir started with some of examples of ancient Indian gurus and laid stress on how should we focus on minimizing disvalues like duplicacy and vindictiveness from our society. He also touched upon the practical sides, that exist in our life, like duplicacy of the institutions on issuing fake degrees and the students copying with the help of technology. One thing that I need to thank you even more for is, sir, sharing your experiences towards the end. That has left a deep impact on all the teachers who have joined today to listen to your discourse, especially when you spoke about how you took that bold step for the expulsion of the in-service candidates. That is a rare feat that cannot be, not too many people can stand for it. So this has been a very, very bold feat on your front, and I'm sure this will lead a lot of value to all the teachers that have added today in today's discourse. So I have two questions to put to you, which have been put in the chat box. The first question is, sincerity, gratitude, and humility are missing in general from our lives. And because of everything that is happening around us. So can you say that this is reflecting on our teaching also? And how can we help it, How can we help our students with the values?
It's a very good question. In fact, it involves not only teachers. Teachers, I say yes. We teachers are partly responsible. More responsible are the parents and the society in which they are living. But it is very important that gratitude, sincerity, and they need to be improved. They need the students need to improve in these human values, and we teachers can improve, certainly.
Thank you, sir. And the second question is, sir, how can we talk about ethics when there is so much unemployment in the youth and they are ready to go to any extent to get a job?
You are very right, and in such situation also आप कहते हैं ना कि be successful, not successful but valuable to the society. अगर students को हम ये कहें by hook or crook you get the job, what they will do? They will earn money from dubious means. अभी जितना आप देख रहे हैं ब्यूरोक्रेट्स में देख रहे हैं, आप पुलिस में देख रहे हैं, आप पॉलिटिशियंस में देख रहे हैं, अगर सिंसियरिटी और वैल्यू और जो ट्रूथफुलनेस और ये कैरेक्टर्स अगर हम नहीं इनकलकेट करेंगे तो ये जॉब में भी जाके क्या करेंगे? वो सोसाइटी को खराब ही करेंगे, अच्छा तो करेंगे नहीं. जो आदमी फॉर एग्जांपल बाय हुक और क्रुक अच्छे मार्क्स लिया है तो भी जाके उसको सिफारिश पे तो जाना पड़ेगा, या इट्स अ वेरी बैड सिचुएशन कुछ ब्राइब करके भी नौकरी लेते हैं. तो अगर ये दोनों तीनों चीज करके वो नौकरी करेगा तो किसको खराब करेगा? सोसाइटी को ही खराब करेगा. मेरे और आपके बच्चे कैसे रहेंगे ना, जो अच्छे हैं वो कैसे रहेंगे? तो नंबर ऑफ पीपल coming out of the colleges and institution having better values is always good for the society. मैं ये नहीं कहता कि सभी को आप एकदम से साफ सुथरा कर देंगे, बट कीप ट्राइंग. जॉब ऑफ द टीचर इज कीप टीचिंग. आपको तो रोज नए नए स्टूडेंट्स मिलेंगे, आप रोज नए नए बदतमीज स्टूडेंट्स मिलेंगे, उनको तमीज सिखाना है. रोज नए नए झूठे मिलेंगे, उनको सच बोलना सिखाना है। और ये आपका एक दिन का जॉब तो नहीं है, आप तो 35 साल तो 40 साल तो जॉब में सिखाएंगे। उसके बाद जब आप सीनियर हो जाएंगे तो आप सोसाइटी में जाके सिखाएंगे। टीचिंग इज ए कंटिन्यूअस प्रोसेस। आप पढ़ाते रहिए, आपके आगे वाले भी पढ़ाते रहेंगे। अगर हम ये बात करके छोड़ देंगे कि भाई हमारे बस का तो है नहीं, जॉब है नहीं, तो ये तो बदमाश ही निकलेंगे, बदमाश होने दो, इनको नकल भी करने दो, इनको हेरा फेरी करके चोरी भी करने दो, सब कुछ करने दो, तो दे विल स्पॉइल द होल सोसाइटी, द होल स्टेट, द होल कंट्री। तो उसके लिए फिर अगेन जिम्मेवार तो हम ही होंगे। आप अपनी कोशिश जारी रखिए और ज्यादा जोर शोर से जारी रखिए, तभी जाके हम इस यूथ को इम्प्रूव कर सकते हैं। और ऐसा नहीं है कि इम्प्रूव नहीं होंगे, देर आर एग्जाम्पल्स। मैं अपने पर्सनल एग्जाम्पल भी दे सकता था, अभी टाइम नहीं है, कि जो बच्चे सुधरे हैं और बाद में उन्होंने सारी जिंदगी एहसान माना है कि हाँ मेरे को सर ने कम से कम ये सुधारा तो मैं आज ये हूँ, या मैडम ने मुझे एक बार ऐसे डांटा था इस बात के ऊपर, मुझे वो बात आज तक याद है और मैंने वो गलती कभी नहीं की। ऐसा नहीं है कि वो सिर्फ डिसरेस्पेक्ट करने के लिए या कानून को तोड़ने के लिए या हुल्लड़बाजी के लिए या उसके लिए ही वो आते हैं, एजुकेट होने के लिए भी आते हैं। आप कीजिए, जरूर होंगे, इम्प्रूवमेंट जरूर होगी। और आशावादी रहिए, ऐसा नहीं है कि हमेशा इस तरह से ही होगा। यू कीप ऑन डूइंग योर जॉब, let them do their.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for such a practical and insight into all the things that you have shared with us. It has been extremely wonderful interacting with you. But now I would like to invite Dr. Aditya for a formal vote of thanks, and also announce from this platform that the feedback link has been shared on both the platforms, on YouTube also and on Zoom also. So my request to all the participants to kindly fill up the feedback form. And now over to Dr. Aditya, who is one of the members on the IQAC and NAC committee, for a formal vote of thanks. Dr. Aditya.
Thank you, Dr. Shami Nagpal. Good afternoon to all. It's my pleasure and pride to express my most sincere thanks to our worthy speaker, Dr. R.K. Yadav, for such a phenomenal session. Thank you very much, sir. In this modern era, when everything is getting digital, education is one of the most affected areas. Education has a very important role to play in defining one's personality. Students have to behave in the certain manner in their schools, colleges, with their teachers and fellows. So this is a learning process and they ultimately learn how to behave in the society. But due to online teaching and more use of cell phones and internet, students somehow are not getting their opportunity to go through this much needed process, which is definitely having a toll on their values. In classroom studies, ethical exchange between teachers and students is a natural process which is lacking nowadays. And sir, today you touched the very much needed topic, and that too beautifully. You explained the characteristics of ethical education. Sir, I thank you again wholeheartedly on behalf of all the members of organizing committee of this workshop. I also extend my thanks to our worthy speaker of day one and day two of this workshop, Professor Manjula Chaudhary, Dean Academic Affairs, Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra, and Professor Aisha M. Sharif, Chairperson, Department of Business Administration, University of Mysore, for delivering a very informative talk. I would also like to express my gratitude to our respected principal, sir, Dr. Vikramjit Singh, for all his support and guidance in organizing this 3 days national workshop. My thanks are also due to my team members. Firstly, I would like to thank the convener of the workshop, Dr. Shami Nagpal, for making this event possible. My thanks also go to the flag bearer of this workshop, Dr. Vivek Srivastava, the coordinator of IQAC, for putting all his vision and hard work. I also thank Dr. Anup Singh Parmar and Dr. Smita Lega, the organizing secretary of the workshop. My thanks also go to all the committee members of workshop, Mr. Narendra Kumar, Dr. Nirubala, Dr. Himant Sharma, Ms. Manju Sharma, Ms. Shalu Rani. My special thanks are due to our technical team, Ms. Bibha, Mr. Harish, Mandeep, Mr. Narendra, and Mr. Sunny for being with us throughout the process. And finally, I want to extend my heartiest thanks to all our dearmost participants for being associated with us and making this event purposeful. Again, thank you so much, sir, for being with us and enlightened our knowledge with much needed information. Thank you, sir, for gracing the session. Dear participants, you are also advised to fill your feedback form well in time so as to get your e-certificates. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Aditya. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Aditya, and thank you, sir. Once again, thank you so much to all the participants and sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Sami.